Hello and welcome to another episode of Zulf Talks Photography. Today we've got another surprise for you. We have actually got a guest on that will be speaking to us about her journey. And if you haven't guessed already from the title, it's going to be about her journey from her Polaroid camera a long while ago to her current Nikon d750. It is of course Violet, and Violet has her own YouTube channel which is Violet Henning, but she is also part of another photography business, you could say. It's Navipix Photography. We will be linking to her in the cards and in the description, but today we're going to be speaking to her about her journey into photography. So this is Violet. Hello Violet, how are you?
Hi, Zulf. I'm very well, thanks, and you?
Yes, great. Thanks for coming on. It's been really interesting getting you on and speaking about your journey and your tips. We've got a few videos planned. We're going to be speaking to you about your journey, and I'm hoping it'll be interesting. I love your setup there. Lenses behind you look amazing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it took a little bit of a while to get everything set up at the back, moving from the one studio to the other, but everything seems to be working out just fine.
I can imagine. Yeah, today hopefully we're going to speak to you a bit about your photography setup and how you do things basically. So a bit of a chat just to get
Sure.
an idea of your journey. So if you can talk a bit about your original starting and how you got into photography, and we'll kind of take it from there. So we know a while ago you were shooting with a Polaroid when you were younger. Can you briefly give us an idea of your journey and what got you more interested into photography?
Yes, absolutely. I was into photography since I was a little child. I was always shooting everything, wasting film like nobody's business because I just wanted to capture moments. And until today, that is still what I want to do is capture moments. And I started out with the old Polaroid and then moved on to some 35 millimeter film just to test out, what I can do. I absolutely had no idea what I was doing, but I was just shooting away and just making pictures and capturing moments. And then from there on, I progressed as I went through school and as I went through university and as I went through photo school, I started going into the DSLR cameras, which was moving away from film completely onto digital. And then I started, I think, on the D90, the Nikon D90 is where I started my photography career. And the D90 was still on the APS-C sensor, which is a cropped sensor. And then from there, I moved on, progressed onto, full frame. And I've had a couple of full frame cameras, which is actually one of the things that you move towards when you come through film school is to go into digital. So the D750, Nikon D750 is the one that I'm currently using because it is so versatile. It shoots on 24 pixels, it's got 24 megapixel sensor. It's full frame, 35 millimeter sensor. And the nice thing about it is any other camera in the market right now, you can basically compare the D750 to, which is super cool.
Excellent. And I had a bit of a question about your starting. So, Polaroid and film, do you think it helped you that you started with film and moved to digital? Because some people these days go straight to digital without that film experience. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think the new generation, if you specifically look at Generation X, which is my generation, anyone between 30 and 40 years old, would say to you, they started on digital and they continued on digital, which is a good thing. But I think, the previous generation, the baby boomers, they actually came in on film. And I just think they have a more rock solid foundation when it comes to photography because in film, there's so much more to learn and the process is so much harder. And to develop that film, you need to be very specific on your exposure and on everything that you capture, your framing, everything needs to be perfect. It's not like editing it now in digital. But I think Generation X, us, we, we move straight into digital and people find their feet in digital and then they just move on from there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's quite a good point, to be honest, because a lot of people go straight into digital, and if they didn't know film, they don't know the big difference. But as long as they're making
That's it.
pictures, that's the main thing, I think.
That's the big thing. You need to capture moments. And as soon as you have that hunger or that passion in you to capture things. It doesn't matter whether you shoot with your phone, whether you shoot with APS-C sensor or full frame sensors. It really doesn't matter
And
as long as you
also,
capture the moment.
sorry to interrupt you. We've been looking at your Instagram and we just got that up right now. You've got some amazing photos on there. So I'll link to your Instagram channel in the description as well. And we'll be speaking to
Thank
you
you
in
very
a
much.
separate video about your inspiration and how you get these amazing great shots, because there's loads of great elements in your photos that you've got.
Thank you very much. I would really appreciate that.
And just getting back to topics, so in terms of your setup at the moment, you've got a Nikon. What sort of lenses are you shooting with? What's your favorite lens?
My favorite, all-time favorite lens, it's always been, and I think it'll always be, is the 24 to 70 millimeters, because you've got a nice 24 millimeter wide angle, but you've always got the 70 just to frame in or punch into somebody, when it's needed. And that lens I use all the time for weddings, for parties, for uh, portraits, for anything that I shoot. The other lens that I use, which is the big one there at the top that you can see, is the 150 to 600 lens, which is a Tamron sport lens. And
Okay,
that Tamron sport lens is for the bird photography.
excellent. I think we're going to save these for another video. So it's been great speaking to you today. And I've got a few more episodes planned where we're going to dive more into your lenses and speak more about detail, because I know you've got a number of different photos you take, and especially being in South Africa, there's quite a good opportunity there for wildlife as well. So I'm hoping to speak to you about that.
Absolutely.
So I'd like to say
Yeah,
thank
you're
you for
welcome.
joining me today and speaking to me. And we got another video planned shortly, so you will be seeing more from Violet. So we'd like to say thanks for joining on this video. I've got a few links in the description so you can check out Violet and her progress. And also there's some cards where we can see more videos about our creator collaborations, and we'll link to that in the end cards.